Hello everyone, for this Kizuna I am sick and I also have decided to make universal teams. Now what do I mean by universal teams? All three of these teams should work for all three types or colors of the Kizuna. I believe this sugar team should have the most consistent damage through all three colors just because of Bon Clay. I have tried to make three teams that all use unique units, but I think Black Maria repeats herself once. The rare recruit from the I don't remember what batch. I think it was the Yamato batch with Ulti and Page 1. That one. But yeah. For one of these clips on the sugar team, I forgot to stall with Bon Clay for one turn, which ended up lowering my damage output by quite a bit because I was unable to. It's especially harmful on that team. On that color, because I don't remember what color it was. Did I really not skip this? Oh no, this is my first one. I think there's the Psy variation where they put the special charge lock, so you can't even get your special charge back normally, which makes sense because they want you to bring a special rewind to counter stage 2. But if you could just charge your specials normally, that would not make much sense unless they rewinded them by 4 turns or something. We don't actually have a paralysis reducer since Sugar is able to avoid the paralysis with the toy bears. Toy bears are able to bypass paralysis. They're unaffected by it. Now for these teams, I don't think I have all. I didn't record all three colors for the second and third team. I think the third team is the weakest. I'm not sure which of the first or second team is stronger. I'd say it's the sugar one. It's the one I made first with damage in mind. Sugar is also able to give super type to Buggy and Mr. 3, who have rainbow affinity, so they will have super type against all three colors or variations. If you haven't already done so, I'd highly recommend leveling up the potential ability on Bon Clay that reduces his own cooldown at the start of a fight. It's really helpful for Kizunas, especially since that allows you to basically use him on any Kizuna regardless of who receives special cooldown reduction, since Bon Clay is able to transform into any color and class combination, as well as providing a very large base attack boost. I think it's 1500. And he manipulates all orbs, including block. Just a very useful Kizuna legend. Well, he's not a Kizuna legend, he was a treasure map legend that can be used. That is better used in Kizuna, honestly. You may think that the Suru support on Sengoku is redundant, but past level 30, the resilience will increase by 1 turn, and Sengoku, since he can only reduce it by 5 turns, end of turn damage is going to be your way to get around 6 turn resilience. On the Rager team, the way to get around it is with support Colosseum Neptune. on Shirahoshi. And I did include I didn't manage to get all 3 variations for that Reiju team because I gave up on trying to find more friend captains. So what I did instead was record Colosseum Neptune Kaido run. It's pretty fast, it's sub 2 minutes. And you really only need to do it once. You probably would like to farm it 3 times on triple stamina though, just in case you needed him. I don't think he'd ever see play though, outside of the support. Unless it's a very niche circumstance. Like, the stuff he does is just so outdated now. Don't think you can actually launch Karasu special without launching Sengoku special since there is no cooldown to be reduced. So on stage 2 you have Sengoku's tap timing as well as Cracker support on Karasu to help deal damage. I avoid using Koala on stage 2 because I can't bother with remembering if I need her special on stage 3, since if you hit 3 or 4 perfects with her, she will get a better affinity boost, but I'd rather not risk getting debuffs that I cannot remove without her special. I think on this variation you'll get attack down, and on a different one you'll get bind past level 30. Unless I'm mistaken, all these teams should work level 30 plus. It's just I'm not sure about the 3rd team's damage output. Since Reiju will automatically activate her special whenever the team is poisoned, regardless of her own cooldown and not affecting her own cooldown, you can just launch her special on the stage 2. Now, what does this imply? Nothing really, because her special does not do much. All it does is really just make stage 2 easier to clear since you will have a high attack boost. Her poison really doesn't do much, it's an HP cut, but you want to be clearing in 1 turn so the poison won't be doing anything. Yeah. You don't actually have to launch your super type there, you can just launch your special and then, but you probably want to activate her super type later on, so it doesn't matter. You can activate pretty much any buff there, as long as you have a buff so that Pudding can activate her special to, wait, do you even, I don't know. There's a lot of ways you can do this color. The support Neptune on Shirahoshi will get rid of 2 turns, up to 2 turns, depending on level of resilience. This is important past level 30 since the number of turns of resilience on Magellan and Hannyabal will increase by 1 to 6 turns, which Boa herself cannot reduce by herself. So 5 plus 1 or 2 is 6 to 7, which is enough. I sped this part of the video up for two reasons. One is that I don't think this is a particularly good team, I'm not very proud of it. But it can clear all three colors, it's just lacking in damage. I don't think this team can last very long. Also, in this first clip, I don't even manage to clear successfully because I launched Straw Hat Special first. And now what Straw Hat does is that when they apply all the buffs, they will also prevent the team from putting up any further buffs, which means, I forgot this, but damage reduction is also a buff. So Buggy cannot apply the damage reduction, which is really needed here, because Magellan and Hannibal here do a death hit of over 70k. Now I thought of a way to get around this, which was to use Barto support, damage reducing one, but I don't think that would work because Straw Hat supposedly blocks all buffs. So instead I put Reiju support on Straw Hats and decided to launch Straw Hat Special last, so they don't do the first version of their special, they do the second, which doesn't apply any buffs, but you also can actually put up other buffs instead. So I think that version would only have the attack boost from Buggy or Orochi and the orb boost from Reiju, and that's only on 2 characters because Straw Hats themselves really don't get boosted by Buggy and Mr. 3. So yeah, that team will not be doing much damage on the deck's color. Even on this int variation, you have, I guess you have 2 units that hit with color advantage. But even then, it's not much damage, really. What was that? 9?